students. So here we start lesson number 9, Uncle Ken at the wicket. So now gets it. Uncle Ned, Dad's youngest brother, was living with us at Kanpur. Aunt Emily, the eldest of my three aunts, lived at Lucknow with her husband and three children. One day, Uncle Ken announced that he was going to Lucknow to stay with Aunt Emily. So Uncle Ken, Dad's youngest brother, was living in Kanpur, and his aunt Ambi was also living over there. Over the eldest of three aunts, Aunt Emily, was living at Lucknow with her husband, and Uncle Ned can announce that he is going to Lucknow to stay with Aunt Emily. So here we start with the lesson. So she has three children and a school to look after, said Granny. Don't stay there too long. So Aunt Emily was having three children and he was also looking after the school. So Granny told Uncle Nen not to wait there for too long. She doesn't mind how long I stay, said Uncle Ken grumpily, and off he went. So grumpily meaning is very angrily. So Uncle Ken went to the and Uncle Ken sent to her granny that it doesn't matter how long I stay over there. Then Uncle Ken visit to Lucknow proved very interesting and memorable. We heard about it much later. So Uncle Nen visited to Lucknow and proved very interesting and memorable. So when Uncle Ken got down at Lucknow railway station, a loud crowd gathered around him. Everyone was waving to him and shouting words of welcome in Hindi, Urdu, and English. Before Uncle Ken could make out what is what all about, his neck was piled with high with garlands of marigold, and he could hardly open his mouth to say a word. So when Uncle Ned went to the Lucknow railway station, his neck was full of garland. Garland means this माला जो फूलों की माला होती है उसको गार्लैंड बोलते हैं. His neck was full of garlands and people were welcoming him in three different languages, that is Hindi, Urdu and English, and he could not was in situation to say a word. A young man came forward and announced the Gomti Cricketing Association welcome you to historical city of Lucknow. Then he quickly led to Uncle Ned to a car that was waiting outside the station for him. So and a person announced that welcome to Gomti Cricket Association and you are welcome to historical city of Lucknow. And then he led Uncle Ken to a car that was waiting outside the stadium. Then Uncle Ned went to the stadium. Uncle Ken had no idea of where he was being taken and why he was giving such a VIP treatment. While he was yet wondering what all the car drove into sports stadium, only then did Uncle Ken realize that he was expected to play in a cricket match. So Uncle Ned was having no idea what is going on with her. So and he was given a very VIP treatment. Okay, and he was wondering what is happening with her, why he has taken to the stadium, and why they are telling her to play a cricket match. So what happened was a fact. Now we will read about that fact. So Bruce Hallam, the famous English cricketer, was touring India and had agreed to play in a charity match at Lucknow. The previous evening he was in Delhi and had gone to bed with an upset stomach, so he didn't been able to catch the train. He had sent a message to the organizers of the match in Lucknow, but they didn't get it. The cricket fans of Lucknow had arrived at the station in the droves to welcome the great cricketer, and by a strange coincidence, Uncle Ken looked a lot like Bruce Hallam. He had even a bald patch on the crown of his head, and he was wearing a blazer also, hence all the confusion. So it was very big confusion with the people standing over there at Lucknow railway station. So Uncle Ken Bruce Hallam, in that time Bruce Hallam was a famous English cricketer, and that time he was touring India. So and the previous day he was playing a match in Delhi, but because of the upset stomach, his stomach was not well. he went to bed and he was not able to arrive at Lucknow, and he gave a message to Lucknow people that, but they didn't get. So, and the very fact was that Bruce Hallam and Uncle Ken, they both look same. Uncle Ken was also having a patch on his head, on his crown head, and Bruce Hallam was also having a crown, that patch on his head. So people standing over there was in confusion because Uncle Ken looked as it is same Bruce Hallam, and he was wearing blazer also. So Uncle Ken received a rousing reception and a magnificent breakfast at the stadium. Now he left that it would be very unsupporting on his part if he refused to play cricket for them. So if I can't hit a tennis ball, he mused. Moves meaning is to thought of himself in silence. I thought to be able to hit a cricket ball also, and luckily he had a white shirt and a pair of white trouser in his suitcase. Now Uncle Ken was given a very nice breakfast at the stadium, and now he was told to play a cricket. And so very surprisingly, he was having a white trousers and white pair of shirts in his bag also. So the Gomti team won the toss and decided to bat. Uncle Ken was expected to go in at number 3 because Bruce Hallam normal position. He soon found himself walking to the wicket. So a Gomti team now was won the toss match, and now Bruce Hallam, who used to play at third number, so Uncle Ken was also supposed to play at third place, but the people was not knowing that Uncle Ken is Bruce Hallam is, sorry, Uncle Ken is known as Bruce Hallam. So the first ball he received was short pitch. He was able to deal with it is in a tennis fashion, but he don't know to play how cricket. But the first ball was in very slow position. Still he played, and it went to the mid wicket boundary. The crowd cheered lastly. Lastly means very vigorously, energetically. Then the ball hit Uncle Net on the pad. He was right in front of his wicket. He could have been given out leg before wicket, that is LBW, but umpire hesitated to raise his finger. After all, thousands of people has paid a lot of money to see Bruce Hallam play, and it would be a shame to disappoint them. So now the next time when the second ball played, so Uncle Ken was out before because of LBW, that is leg before wicket. But umpire was very in hesitated position because he was because the people sitting over there had paid thousands, hundreds of money to see Bruce Hallam, and he can't do that. Not out, said the umpire. The third ball took the edge of Uncle Ken bat and passed through the slip. It went to the third man boundary. Lovely shot, exclaimed an elderly gentleman in the pavilion. So an elderly gentleman was sitting in the pavilion, and he said, very nice shot, lovely shot. Uncle Ken had another 4 runs to his name. It was over, and other batsman has to face the bowling. Now it was the over was finished, and it was the time to other man to face the bowling. He took a run off the first ball and called for a second run. So 1 run was done, and it was a call for the second run. Uncle Ken thought 1 run was more than enough, but when the other batsmen start running, he could not refuse to run. He was halfway down the pitch, and when a fielder hit the wicket, there could be no doubt this time Uncle Ken was run out. So the next time Uncle Ken was run out. So Uncle Ken returned to the pavilion to the sympathetic applause of the crowd. Now very sympathetically the crowd gave him applause. Not his fault, said the elderly gentleman. The other batsman should not have tried to take 2 runs. There wasn't a there wasn't a run there. So now this time also elderly gentleman told that it was not fault of Uncle Ken, but now they all the people sitting over there were there was thinking that Uncle Ken is Bruce Hallam, but it was not. Uncle Ken enjoyed a hearty tiffin. Then he slipped out of the stadium and took a tonga and reached Aunt Emily's house. So After having their tiffin, Uncle Ken went to the Aunt Emily's house. He was just in time for the second lunch with Aunt Emily's family. It was presumed at the stadium that Bruce Hallam had left early to catch to train to Allahabad, where he was expected to play in another charity match. Now, as when the uncle then went to the Aunt Emily's house, so it was announced at that stadium that Bruce Hallam is having another match with some other charity, so he went. Okay. Aunt Emily, a forceful woman, fed Uncle Ken for a week. So now forceful means making others take note of what one says. So Aunt Emily now had feeded Uncle Ken for a week. Then she put him to work in small boys' dormitory. Dormitory is a place where lots of people sleep in one room of her school. So then he put Uncle Ken's to a job in a dormitory of her school. It was several months before he was able to save up enough money for a ticket to Granny Place. So he worked over there for several months, and then he saved some money to visit his granny place. But he had the satisfaction of helping the great Bruce Hallam to add 8 runs to his grand total. The scorebook of the Gomti Cricket Association had recovered this feat for all the time. Feat means an action that needs skills. So now, but still, Uncle Ken has that satisfaction that he played at the place of Bruce Hallam, and he had uh, given 8 runs of his grand total, and he has associated with Gomti Cricket Association of Scorebook. Now this is your all chapter about. Now your homework is that you will read the chapter. Okay, you have to read it and understand it. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.